Mix it up is being weird, guys. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. Okay. You see specifically? I don't know what's going. I never had this happen before. It's really strange. Hey, PC volume is good. Pull up Lurkbait. Well, that's cursed. I swear they're never gonna fix it. They're never gonna freaking fix it. I've lost hope at this point. Alright, so it's not working now? I might have to restart. It's weird. So, like... Yeah, I'm gonna have to restart it. That's sort of really strange. It's like basically, this is a completely computer-based like program for the most part. Like the only thing it accesses through the network is like VTube Studio, and that's not even like through real internet. But like VTube Studio, Twitch, like a couple of web services, but it shouldn't be doing that. It's very strange. Oh, but anytime I go into the command, it just doesn't load. It just says it's loading. Yeah, I want some Coheed and Cambia. Give me that. Give me that butt. Oh, it's so strange though. Let me. Oh yeah, VTS bug. I think is the last thing I'm gonna open. I still kind of want to have. I don't know. I want Rusty's up more often, but I never caught the name of the one that Birdie was messing with. I just ran as administrator. As administrator is. Okay, so VTS pod theoretically should be fine. Watch VTS pod just start working. Just all of a sudden. Wanted, but you wanted nothing. Yours ain't the passion. Really love me. Would have been there by you. As I presume. Theoretically, this should just work. Hey, stare. Work.
This is a sample of what my voice sounds like. I am not real. Are you real?
No, shut up. Listen, my life shows I am the right hand. He lays to rest. He's our love ever do. Alright. Load this time. Yeah, there we go. I just need to restart it. Okay, cool. Are we real? I can still do the semi-curse thing that I wanted to do with Tangia, but I don't know if it's gonna work. Alright, and goodbye, right hand. Here they to rest is a love ever low. Seems to take place to all of these. One now kiss for you. Wish to you. Please make up your mind, girl. I'd do anything for you. Yeah, there's literally nothing I can do about that weight thing. Before I hope you die. Hey, Wiggles. What are you planning? Don't worry about it. I highly suggest. So you know what? Actually, Pisto, do you want to participate in my experiment? Do you want to participate in my unveiling? I got you, Pisto. You can be involved. You can do the thing. You can do it. I'll DM you. I'm running. DMing, I'm DMing. Okay. Let me know when you got it. Let me know when you got it. I know he's gonna be a little delayed, so we're gonna pretend it's pausing for dramatic effect. Also, trust me, it's safe, Pisto. This isn't gonna get you canceled. I promise. I'm not that kind of person. I promise. I promise. I promise. He's gonna be like Lord Estrella. You're gonna make the world think I hate black people. Okay, so I have prepared something in honor of gingers being black and being accepted into the black community. I have prepared a little treat. I feel like this is my right as a Red Velvet person. Also, the name Red Velvet is adorable, and I hope no one ever takes it away from me. I am really excited to show you guys something that I spent a total of 2 seconds on and worked really hard on. So without further ado, I would like to present I feel like that's only gonna make sense to like a few people. I feel like that's only gonna make sense to a few people. It certainly doesn't mean so. God damn it. Well, it was a flop. Damn. No, it's so one, gingers have been accepted into the black community, and two, for some reason smoke detectors are a part of stereotypes. So I just thought it was funny. The joke has layers, though. It has layers. I don't know what the fuck this is. He thinks he's better than all of us Earthlings. Oh, I don't know how the freaking YouTube shit works, but apparently we've been crushing it. Because I went and looked yesterday, and when we do almost have 8 hours smoke detectors. So, you know what a smoke detector is? Oh yeah, but they chirp whenever the battery is dying, and the stereotype is that like people never change them. I saw one video of a guy that was like, there's. I've seen 2 videos now. One was a girl that was like winding up, saying that she was gonna say it. She was finally gonna say it now that she's a ginger, and gingers have been accepted into the Black community. She's like, I'm gonna say it, and she like leads up, like she's gonna hit the N-word, but instead she just opens her mouth and the smoke detector beep comes out. And then there's another guy that said, I just paid all my bills and my credit score tanked. I don't know what's going on. And then the smoke detector goes, beep. And he's like, what the fuck? And the comments are full of people just being like, he got the update. We downloaded the software. It's been really cute though. I think we should watch some of them. It's really cute. I'll expose you guys to Brain Rot. I mean, unironically, I think it'd be really funny to just scroll through my actual TikTok feed on my personal side so you guys can just see how see what I watch. I wonder how brain rotted I can get it. Oh, I didn't bring it. Oh, yeah, I did.
The rustier the roof, the wetter the cellar people run. AK001, if your brain was a cellar, it would be a parched desert.
Yeah, that's fair. Thank you for the biddies. No one understood my joke. Nah, it's alright. It is crazy though. It is crazy though, because like a lot of Black people are like, I didn't know you guys were going through that shit, and then a lot of gingers are like, someone finally loves us. It's like, I think people really underestimate the ginger hate, and like even I kind of do, because I feel like I got lucky being blonde passing. I feel like I got lucky being a blonde for like the first like few years of my life, and then turning into a ginger as a teenager, because like my high school didn't really necessarily make fun of people for their looks, thankfully. But they still like would get an attitude and like made fun of people or whatever. I don't know. It was just kind of weird. They didn't have like the typical experience in that sense. I still got relentlessly bullied like my entire fucking life, but at the same time it's just like it could have been worse. Also, I did not get a chance to charge my VR. However, I had an idea. I could just plug in the charging cable thingy beside of me and do like one at a time tonight. Oh, yeah, but I don't know. I guess we're crushing it because, like, I was sitting at 240. Like, okay, this is the weird part, right? I was sitting at, like, 240 watch hours, and we need, like, 3K, and then we need 1,000. And I was like, okay. And, it'd be, like, 242, 246, and it'd go back down, and then, like, it never really hit, like, 280, and if it did, it, like, dropped again. So I just kind of assumed, I was like, oh, like, you know, the stream watch hours aren't as much as I thought they were. And they weren't really adding up as much as I thought they were. And then I, like, looked last night, and the ASMR channel is at 800, which is better. I think it was sitting at, like, 700 or 600. And that one's gone up a bit. So you guys are still doing great on that one, just watching the VODs. I feel like I should be able to do ASMR tomorrow, but we'll have to see because there's nothing planned. Steel is going to try and make me go to the emergency room tomorrow, but I'm just like, I feel better and they're not going to help me. So it should be whatever at this point. It's just like, I don't know. But, what am I thinking of? Well, for the main YouTube channel, I was just like, I just poked over and switched over accounts. And I looked at the watch hours and we got like 400 on there now. And I was like, what the fuck? Where did that come from? So I don't know if like it would make sense the stream hours like hit at like the end of the month or something. Because like a lot of people use live streams to get around like a lot of rules and stuff like that. Or at least they try to. So it made sense that the hours would count later, or it'd take a couple of weeks. Because I was like, 150 watch hours just like suddenly hit the stuff out of the blue. So it's crazy. And there are people I didn't like my jokes so bad they left. Goddamn. Okay. I kind of wish you could like keep track of your follows to a degree, just to like find out like which accounts are bots, so you could just purge them a little bit easier. I think there actually is a way to see your Twitch following list. It's just not through Twitch. I'm curious how many bots are there. Like bots that just never got caught. Purge the bots. I'm curious, like, out of like, it is kind of crazy. This is the reason my like follower count really doesn't matter after a certain instant. Like, it's fine to like be like, yay, I hit this number, obviously, but like it doesn't matter at some point, because like after you get affiliate, followers don't matter for anything. And then two, a lot of it's like inactive / bot accounts. And so like it is interesting to think about like what exactly your numbers would be like if all of the inactive / bot accounts were gone. Inactive accounts I don't think I would ever remove though, because like the thing is like people always come back at some point. Not always. I say that so confidently. Sometimes people come back. So I was gonna do Legos, but I think I'm going through burnout. Not from like Legos specifically, because like I still have the urge to do Legos, but I think I'm going through burnout from streaming. Because my back, dude, everything hurts. So it's just like, I'll just chill. I'll just chill. Like the bot accounts get purged by themselves sometimes. Yeah, but that's the thing is like back in the earlier days, like I feel like it's harder to, like a lot of accounts from the earlier days were bots. So it's like, I wonder how many of those accounts are just sitting inactive now because like they never got purged. Because it's not like they purged themselves, like it's Twitch getting reports and banning them. So I appear active and don't get purged. I want to grow plants again. You can leave your account inactive and it stays forever. With Twitch, it seems like it. The partner and affiliate side of things are like up in the air. Some people have said that like they never take it away, and others say like it's a certain amount of like activity or subs or something. Like Senzawa hasn't streamed in 5 years, and she still has her Twitch account. I think she doesn't have partner anymore though. She's at least an affiliate though, and it's been 5 years. But viewer-wise, yeah, it does pretty much seem like, I mean, because there's people that like Sweetheart. I know Sweetheart was one of them, and I think there was one other person. Oh God, who was it? I know Heart was one of them, where there was, instead of Mrs. Sweetheart, there's an account that was just Sweetheart, and she wanted it, but she couldn't tell if it was deactivated or not, or inactive or not, because with Twitch, if you're a partner, you can request usernames, but the account needs to be inactive for I think like 6 months or more. So like your account is always technically at risk. Like if I hit partner and you weren't active for a year, I could technically take your username. But that's how you have like a partner, because like a lot of people, they don't get lucky because like they weren't here when the platform first started, and they certainly didn't start their VTuber account when the platform first started. So like, so Neko, I can't, this is alleged, I'm just guessing. So Neko, the ASM artist on here, she probably applied for that username and got it. Iron Mouse has been around for a while, so I feel like she's probably always had the name Iron Mouse. I don't think she's ever had any numbers or anything at the end of her name, but I could be wrong. Pisto used to have a really simple one, but Pisto TV ended up being taken on Twitter, which was weird. And then, I think Ko's always had his name. Mouse got an allergy, sorry. Yeah, she's pretty on top. Plus, like, Iron Mouse isn't like a typical like Twitch viewer username. So I'm trying to think of other Twitch partners that. So Sweetheart did finally get her account. When the name Pisto was taken, at least I have it on Discord. Yeah. Dude, poor Nate. Someone took his name. I kind of miss Discord's old username layout. I'm not gonna lie. I still kind of miss it. It's easier. I also think it made it easier for people to like find you, which is like kind of risky in and of itself sometimes. Because it's like they can just type in your Twitch username and send you friend requests. They don't even have to be in your server or anything. They can just do that to harass you. I didn't even realize it. This is how I know my community is like one of the best communities ever. My DMs were open for like a few months at least, because Discord did an update. And I urge you guys to check your settings, and I can tell you how to check it, but Discord did an update. And I don't know, my account specifically, everyone else's seemed to be fine, but mine got fucked. And Discord made it so where you can change your DM and like conversation settings per server. All right, no problem getting wedged for 1-7. Yeah. Let me, what is it called again? I don't know if I'm gonna be able to see it while streamer mode is on. I think it's in. Billing appearance, accessibility, voice and video chat, notifications, keybinds. God, they have so much shit. Is it in activity privacy? I don't know, but there's a setting that you can get to in Discord where it's like server, like DM permissions. Like, you should just be able to look up DM, actually. DM? My account profiles, content and socials. I think it's in my account. No, I don't think I can access it in streamer mode. Content and socials? Okay, that's what it is. So if you go to your content and socials settings, there is a setting called social permissions. And I'm going to listen to me very carefully on this one. Even if direct messages allow DMs from other server members is toggled off, and it says all servers, and you're still getting DMs and you're like, what the fuck is going on? Hit the scroll down list where it says all servers and just pick a random server. So like Camille Pitt Steele's Parliament. And what worked for me is to turn things on and then off, and then go to all servers and turn it on. Oh wait, maybe you don't have to go through that. Just toggle direct messages from all servers on and off, and it should work. So like then the pop-up, I made it too complicated because I remember the way that I had to do it is different from now because it didn't work like this the first time. It says, do you also want to apply the changes to all your existing servers? And you hit yes. So toggle it on, hit yes. Toggle it off, hit yes. If you're still getting DMs from servers and you don't want to, it's really, it doesn't seem to have happened to many people. It seems to have just been a me issue. But I got like 2 DMs. One was one of my friends' girlfriends trying to get me to sign a Kudo board, and it sent her to message requests as spam for some reason. Maybe because there's a link. Maybe that's why. And then the next one was from Ko. I was sending her a message, or she was sending me a message to set up something, and she's like, hey, just sending you the DM. And I was like, how did you DM me? And she's like, what do you mean? And I was like, I thought I had DMs turned off. And she's like, I don't know. From 2 people, I think, and I knew them, both of them. Yeah, it's fine if you want your DMs open, but like, it opens you up to spam accounts, and you gotta be careful with that shit. It kind of sucks. Oh my god, I just got an idea. I just got a really good idea. Guys, Adderall is like light bulb moment. I could get, because of the weird way that I watch YouTube, I should just use a fucking overlay. Oh my god. Well, no, okay, no, there is a reason I do it. The only thing I would probably do is have like a banner off on the side. Oh, which I can actually do. Ooh. Ooh, girl. I have so many ideas. I gotta go through my ideas channel at some point. Alright, planning. Because I have an idea, and I can make it in Canva using the assets I already have. Make a... I'm calling it an overlay in quotes, because it's not a full overlay, because I want it to still show the title. Make an overlay for... and a scene. And a scene for watching videos. So it looks cleaner. I can make it look a lot cleaner. Because, okay, let me give you guys an example of my idea. Let me go to Tiki Talkies. You know, kind of feel like there's, you know, because my other account is on my phone, I feel like there's enough overlap that I can just watch this TikTok account. That voice kind of sounds like the ooh ee ee ah ah cat, but it's not saying ooh ee ee ah ah. Have all the ideas. I do. It's been crazy lately. It's been nuts. Oh, also my 3D model is fine. I still need to. I have a question. Guys. I have a question. How do you guys feel about skin fangs? Because here's the thing, right? I was thinking to give, like, if I did NSFW content with my skin fang model, it's a little derpy. I feel like it might look a little derpy. You're hitting it from the back, and she turns around, she's like, skin, no, fang, like fangs, but instead of teeth, it's skin. Camilla has them. Let me find a picture of Camilla. Hang on. VTuber, not Camilla. What's it? What the fuck is her name actually? Is it Camilla Cabela? Oh, apparently there's a Camilla that's in the royal family. Queen Camilla. I don't know who the fuck that is. Let me see. I don't know too many VTubers that have two. Think they're cute? Yeah, but like, would you fuck her if she had skin fangs? Married to Charles? I don't know. Oh, Camilla has double skin fang. Hang on. She has like soft skin fang. And what about her new model that just came out? Oh, this is a good one of it. This is kind of a good one of it. Although I guess honestly, my model mama for the 3D did say that she could make the skin fang shorter. I could technically show you guys, but I feel like the mouth is a good surprise. Of course, it probably saved it as a web PM. Or web PM. Like it's fucking Tylenol. There's gotta be a way, dude. There's gotta be a way to display web PMs in Discord. How to show web not web PM. God damn it, it's not Tylenol. WebP in OBS. Do you have to do it as a browser source? That would make sense. To display WebP images in OBS, you'll need to convert them to... Oh. That doesn't sound right. Or WebM. Oh, WebP is not directly supported as a source type in OBS. You can use a browser source to display WebP images and host it on a web page. See, okay, I was right. You do use a browser source. We pee in Discord? Why are you peeing in Discord? Hey, Shadow! Camilla's new model has a skin fang, but it's a toggle. The default is the shark teeth. Oh, shit. Okay. Her current model has it, but previous Camilla model had it, yeah. I feel like it's probably a similar thing. I kind of want... Ooh, I wonder if I could do that. I wonder if I can make it a toggle for 3D Estrella. No, because, like, I think to do that, I would literally need 2 separate models. That's, like, VR stuff that goes over my head, dude. I don't want to spend time converting this. So I'm going to create a browser source and see what it looks like. I'll use the heart rate monitor. No, you know what? I will not. I mean, people have seen them around. I feel like I don't really have to show people too often, but yeah, it's just instead of like, it's just the fangs on the corner tops of the mouth are pointed like fangs would be. I don't know, because like the thing is like I'm trying to decide. I feel like the skin fang is really cute and it has its time and place, but I feel like if I do NSFW stuff with the model, maybe I should. She sent me a video of what it looks like in VR chat. Hang on. That'll probably help me decide, actually. No, don't pull up VR chat. Oh my god, she gave me so many freebies. Dude, because it's like 3D, she can like put them in so many poses and stuff. Like, there's one pose, it's so fucking cute. I hope that I can create the pose. I have to look up like pose. There's a locomotion thing. There is a VR chat locomotion thing, and I don't know if she added it or not. If I add the locomotion thing to it, there's like a bunch of default poses it'll give my model. And I don't know, there's a lot of VR stuff that I have to learn, and I kind of want to learn it because I am not super great at some VR stuff, but I feel like it's just similar to VRoid. Like, once I learn it, it's really not hard to do. And like, Sin can walk me through some of it, so I want to be self-sufficient. Like, I don't want to have to go to Cinnamon every time I have like an outfit or something I need to do, you know? Have a skin fang in your hands. I mean, yeah, it's probably about that small. That's fair. I don't usually make those jokes, so I'm sorry that actually hurts your feelings, and I don't have any idea what your dick looks like. I'm sorry. I don't usually like making those jokes. I know too many people that actually got like really bad complexes because of those jokes. It's average. Okay, thank God. I only make those jokes if someone's okay with it, and two, it's something that like if you notice, I've made very general jokes about chat. I've never like singled anybody out for the most part. I've never made that joke towards Sin, never made that joke towards Steel, never made that joke towards like Super or any of them, because like, dude, the last thing I'm gonna do is to make someone feel like shit. Because no matter, it's the same, it's like any other anxiety. It's like, even though like they know I've never seen their dick, it still kind of gets to you. And change the part of you not knowing how, oh my God. Christ. I can't even fault that. That was too smooth. That was simultaneously, that was like a creepy smooth, right? Like, I'm not gonna give you props for that. Like, it wasn't something that I would say go tell a real person that you don't, like, who isn't your friend that, but that's actually, like, that was so quick-witted, dude. What am I join into? Me telling chat that I never made small PP jokes unless it's very broad and generalized, because I just made a targeted one towards Urka, and I wanted to make sure that he was okay with it before I apologize. And so he's making jokes. Charlotte's not hurting my feelings enough. I mean, if you pay me enough, I'll degrade your penis. You know, I kind of wouldn't mind taking custom requests on Blue Twitch, as long as it was stuff like that. Like, I feel like that's easy, you know? I could do some customs. I don't mind that. I don't know if I feel comfortable doing, I don't know. Because I'm not going to sit here and, like, do any type of, like, this is where it hits weird, right? This is where it gets weird. I say this, and I think you guys understand what I mean. I don't think I would ever do any inherent, like, bluntly sexual acts as customs, right? But, like, vocal stuff is fine. So, like, degrading, praising, hell, if you know that I'm faking it, I'll put whipped cream in my hands and rub it on my legs, and you can pretend it's my ass. As long as you know that I'm not actually rubbing it on my hands. I don't know. I feel like there's some things I would do for customs, because to me, it's not sexual at all, and I really don't give a shit. Like, make an audio of me just slapping my feet on slime. Like, that one's fine. Hell, I'll do that in a video. I fucking do. The only reason I thought about it is because the other day I saw Tara being like, I was out in public and I remembered I had a custom for farting and I was mad because I couldn't record it because I was in public. You know, it's just like, God damn it, Tara. Like, I don't think I could ever do that. Because here's the thing with that stuff is people can just like commission you to do really weird shit or say really weird things so that they can publicly post it and make fun of you or say it was at a contest or some shit. The caveat to that, though, is that I would always have the proof. I think there's why like a level of respect is had between like clients and like 304 workers. I'm into my thing. What thing? Yeah, I know. It's interesting. Nice spam emotes, or is it just so that happened on multi-chat. It happened in both chats. Yeah. You can't steal something he never had? What? Who am I? Who am I? He made small penis humiliation videos on Twitter for Pinwiggles for spam. Oh, Nate, crazy thing. Chat, I was kind of waiting for Nate to be here so I could say this. Because I feel like he's going to laugh at me. You guys know how I've been having like a shit ton of... Pun not intended. Unironically, pun not intended. We're not going to talk about my bowel movements. Anyway, saying there's not... You know, no matter how I fix this, it's always going to out of context. My lower gut is mostly fine. That's all I'm going to say. It's mostly like my mid-abdomen and my upper abdomen. I do think I finally pinpointed like what is having an issue in my gut though. But here's the thing. So you guys know, I always laugh at women. Let's go. So you guys know how I told you guys that like the CT scan like kind of incidentally found that I have spondylosis in my L5S1. And I've been having like a lot I'm just gonna give it away at this point, but and I've been having a lot of other symptoms. So when I was debating, don't get alarmed. It was mostly just going to the ER to try to get some testing done that they haven't done yet. So as we were debating on going to the ER either last night or today after stream, but I feel better enough that like I could either wait until Wednesday or I could wait until last night and today. We were making up our mind last night and today if I should go to the ER because I basically fed all of my symptoms in the ChatGPT and I was like, pretend you're an ER doctor. And I was like, you know, because I'm like, what could this possibly be? Because like ChatGPT, unironically, is really good about not telling you they have cancer. So I was like, okay, let me plug everything into ChatGPT that's been going on, like very specifically, because it's like, this is I don't even know. I know what mechanically is happening at this point. Hey Rose. So I kind of know what's mechanically going on right now because I felt where like, so here's like a really descriptive way to like explain what's going on. A WebMD gives you. I've actually, you know what's funny? I hardly ever get cancer from Google. I don't know if I'm just lucky. I think the only time I actually got cancer from Google was when I was looking up I was looking up like a skin lump thing that was like on my thighs. There's like it's a mole. It's literally just a mole. It's just a mole like underneath my knee. And I think that's the only time that Google was like, it could be cancer. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Anything skin is going to be. I feel like anytime owning it is cancer. I will say, if you guys, I don't know if you sign up for like, okay, this is going to sound like I'm promoting ChatGPT, and I kind of am. ChatGPT is free up until a certain point. And it's not IP related, it's account related. So if you have like a VTubing or a streamer account, like if you have more than one email, specifically like on your devices, like I have the Estrella email on here, and then I have the What's Her Bitch email on my phone, right? So because of that, I technically get double the access to ChatGPT's free features, because like ChatGPT basically operates on like a daily trial, which is kind of neat. Because like a lot of people just use ChatGPT like a couple of times a day, like at most, and they move on. So you can upload 2 pictures, and you can chat with it up to a certain extent about like whatever. For ChatGPT 4, and then I think you just get downgraded to 3.0. I have infinite emails trick. The only downside about that is that it won't be consistent. So like you kind of have to like, sometimes I'll just do like text copies of my results and stuff like that because that's free. So, but basically, so I threw everything in the ChatGPT last night. And I forgot I did that. Please tell me somebody understands now. Please tell me there's someone in this chat that got the joke. Gingers are black now, everybody. Anyway. I'm not explaining it anymore. I'll show you guys on TikTok in a minute. But now, so I feel like at least Nate got it. But yeah, so the irony of all this is I threw everything into ChatGPT, and it's basically came back with the typical stuff we've been getting. Oh, thank God my pod symptoms are back. That wouldn't normally be a thank God moment, but I need to do that fucking heart monitor. And I didn't want to do it on a good day. Estrella is...
Jet22 has resubbed for 26 months with message, here's my monthly donation to my bat waifu. Ridjet22, a bat waifu. You truly are a sad, desperate creature. Enjoy the circus.
I feel like Small Bite's got more tame. Thank you for the Risa for 26 months. Thank you. Oh, you know what's funny, Red Jet? One of my other friends is deployed right now, too. Oh, wait, it is public. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, it is public. It's Gurch. I don't think he's said anything. Yeah, because he did the video for Ginger, if you guys remember. That's what it was, yeah. But yeah, it's kind of funny. What's up? Yeah. Culture. All right, so basically, to get to my point, it's threw everything into ChatGPT and it basically come up with SIBO, which is small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, which just means like my small intestines have an overgrowth of bacteria. And for that, there's a low FODMAP diet that you can do, and then there's antibiotics. I do have a SIBO test, but because you have to do like a specific diet before, he's been to play for a bit now, yeah. So basically, I threw everything in there. It's like SIBO, there could be a possibility that my pancreas has an issue. My gallbladder needs to be checked because apparently, I didn't know this, chat. I didn't know this, but apparently, are you selling it? Apparently, you can have sludge in your gallbladder, not just stones. And plus, the stones can either be, there's a word for it where like radiation can't detect it. Like it's not radioluminescent, basically. It is basically that word, but that sounds uncomfortable. Yeah, right? I can't feel it. Inside the liver, there's no pain receptors. Some organs, it's really neat. Some organs have like pain receptors on the outside, some don't. Like your eyes, you can't feel pain inside your eyes, but you can feel pain outside your eyes. So there's no, like, if my retina detaches, I can't feel it. But if my cornea gets scratched, I'm gonna fucking feel it. That's why, like, if you get really high eye pressures from glaucoma, my pressure has been, like, I think the highest my pressure has ever been is, like, 36. And I didn't feel anything. Because I have congenital glaucoma. If I had old people glaucoma, that's what I call it. If I had old people glaucoma, that one could be painful, which is crazy. So I can go inside my eyes and you won't feel me. But yeah, it's interesting. But basically, I threw everything in there. It's like SIBO. There's a chance that I could have a pancreas issue. There's a chance that it could be my gallbladder. And SIBO. But basically, I was like, it mentioned, because I like went to bed and I was sitting in bed with Lily. And, you know, now that I have a chatter named Lily, this all sounds really weird out of context. Lily's my cat. Not that Lily. It's a different Lily. They're also spelled differently. But I was sitting in bed with my cat, and I was like, let me continue this. And so I threw in the gurgling that I was experiencing, because like once or twice a week, I have like gurgling in the top left and right of my abdomen. It's not like right up against my ribs, but it's like a little bit below it. And I was like, let me look up a picture of what that is. It's my large intestine. Apparently there's oh god, what are they called? I've learned so much about the human body lately, man. It's crazy. What are the things at the top left and right of large intestine? Is it ascending colon? Oh, here it is. Splenic fixture is on the top left side. And then there's another one. So the splenic fixture, or flexure, is on the top left. And then there's another one on the top right. And where I'm getting like that gurgling sensation, it's literally, if you press your thumb against my abdomen when it's happening, you can feel it. Like you can literally feel everything move through my large intestine, which is crazy. But I was like, you know what? Let me just put in, because I know where the gurgling has happened. So let me see. Same. It's so weird to get used to. It's fucking weird. You might be able to help me out a little bit here, but so basically, sometimes it's mostly just the left side. Then like other times it's both the left and right side. And I was like, let me look that up. And so I got the names of it and I punched it in the ChatGPT on my phone, not my PC, as a fresh thing. And I was like, gurgling at these 2 points in the large intestine. And then I described like all of the rest of my symptoms, like not all of them. Like I didn't put in like the pain or the nausea or anything. I wanted it to focus on the large intestine because I was like, that's what I'm having a problem with. I want to find out. And it's like gurgling in these 2 spots. What could it mean? And it's basically like, because those are like 90-degree turns, so to speak, on your large intestine, there is a chance that something is going on, and like things are building up before those points, and then for whatever reason, my large intestine just decides that it needs to like purge itself, like once or twice a week. It's like my intestine is just like, there's just a bunch of gurgling, and it's just like done. And so I'm like, okay, what the fuck is going on? And so I like put it all into ChatGPT, and I was like, what is going on? And ChatGPT was like it asked like 5 clarifying questions. And it was like, do you experience nausea or pain during or after? And I was like, it's constant for the last like 3 months. And it's like, okay, is it like a liquid sensation, or does it feel like, it was asking me just like a bunch of different clarifying questions about what the actual gurgling felt like and all that kind of stuff. And then I finally, it says something about nerve dysfunction. And I'm like, it made some mention, and it made some mention about lesions and nerve issues. And it's like, have you had any abdominal surgeries lately? And I was like, I had a laparoscopy to remove endometriosis and my tubes. So I'm no longer a woman. I don't matter to the world any longer. Anyway, I cope with humor. I will, side tangent here. I do make jokes about it, and it is a sensitive topic for a lot of people. And you guys are probably like, Estrella, why do you care if you can't have kids? You're just being dark humored, right? And it's like, no. I went through kind of a process, like a grieving process. It really freaked me out to like lose my ability to have children, even though I probably didn't have it to begin with because of the endometriosis. So it still fucks with you. Even if you're like, I don't want kids. I couldn't do this. I wouldn't be able to do. You matter to us. I can't be bred though. Or I'm like the best option for breeding because you don't have to worry about having children. But anyway. So it's still a grieving process, and I do joke. I do cope with humor. But like I'm not out here being like, woe is me, I'm so sad, but it still kind of gets to you. Especially considering like a lot of society does legitimately think you're not a woman any longer because you can't bear children. So streamer is unbreedable. Endless breeding with no consequences. Can breed, no pregnant, just breed. So it mentioned something about nerve, like neuropathy or nerve endings or something, and it specifically said nerve issues in the L4, L5, and I was like, wait. I was like, wait. Give me a moment here. Let me cook, ChatGPT. Let me cook. And I was like, oh, no. Wait. I skipped a step. It said something about nerve endings and like nerve, like numbness and stuff in the legs. And I was like, wait. And so I told it, I was like, hey, I've also got this numb spot on the top of my foot. Is that connected? And it was like, let me go back to the chat because it's just right here. What did it name this chat? I'm sorry. What? Oh, that's right. Okay. I was like, what the fuck did it name this chat? And I was like, where's the numbness on the foot one? That's where I asked what the treatment would be if that was the issue. Okay, so I was like, I do also have numbness on the top of my left foot. Delta, spera mita, dota, pusha, pula, smith, memusa, mabilike, mita, hale, delta, masera, mita, dota. Hale, delta, spera mita, dota, pusha, pula, smith, memusa, mabilike, sita, hale, delta, masera, mita, dota. You fucking summon my Ali delta, masalamita dota, da pusha pudismeke, memusham bepileke, mesita, ali delta, masalamita dota. Also, I'm taking an assessment for a vagal nerve simulator, and my respiratory and cardiovascular health is a negative 6 out of 10. Oh, God. How do you take an assessment for that? Should I Google it? Should I Google it? All right, so getting to the point, I was like, I got numbness in this area. What's up with that? Is that connected? And it's like, yes, the numbness of the top left foot, especially near the toes, can matter in the context of your abdominal and bowel symptoms. It may suggest that a nerve is being affected, possibly linking your gut motility issues with a neurological or structural problem. And then it says, number 1, L5, or paranormal nerve involvement. The top of the foot and great toe area is typically a nerve by the L5 nerve roots and or common peroneal nerve. Compression or irritation of the spine in the L4, L5 area or around the knee could cause numbness. If your autonomic nerves or spinal nerves are also being affected, it could impact motility. Between my POTS symptoms getting worse, the top of my foot being numb, and my intestines having motility issues could literally all be connected to my spondylosis. It could all be. And that could also explain why it seems like I'm having circulation issues. Seems you have a ghost. What? Where's the ghost? What are you talking about? You cracked the code. I don't know. There's nothing on my screen. There's nothing on my screen. I don't know what you're talking about. It's all connected. It could be. It could be. You said paranormal. I think that's just the way it came through on the mic, because I said, let me find the word again. Perineal. Hey.
Suck.
Why are we oming? But anyway, so it says, well, your endometriosis, they didn't find any endo on your intestines or bowels or anything. It could still irritate nearby nerves and cause minor adhesions that tether or kink intestines, especially for flexures. So there's a good possibility that this was caused by my surgery. There's a good possibility that this is caused by my spondylosis. Because, okay, the way that they have to have you for a robotic laparoscopy is very interesting. They have you on I think they have you on your stomach with your legs bent upwards. Because they put little vibrating sleeves on my feet or my legs so that it would keep my legs circulating. And your head has to be down in a thing. I wasn't awake for this part. I don't know how they got me in that. I'm going to be real with you guys. I think because of the amount of anesthesia they give me because I'm a redhead, I only remember going back in the operating room once in my entire life. I've had over 20 surgeries. And out of all of those, maybe even 30, it's been a lot. Out of all of those surgeries, I only remember being awake in the OR once. It was literally just I got in there and they were listening to music. A lot of doctors listen to music and stuff while they're cutting on you. It's a good time. It's a good fun time. Cutting you open. But I remember I got in there. I was laying on the table. And I can't remember if this was a young adult surgery or if this was a teenage surgery, like a late teen surgery, but got in there, was laying there, and usually they would like knock me out, like give me like a high dose of painkiller. Oh yeah, that's what they used to do. They give me like a dose of painkillers or something to sedate me. And before we would go in, because they would go ahead and start my nausea medicine and they would start the painkillers and stuff just to like get a head start on it. And so I remember getting back there because they kept me awake this time. I remember getting back there. I was laying on the table. I was laying on the bed. And they were like, okay, can you scoot over to the table? And I was like, yep. And so I scooted over. Like, we're going to start loading you up with stuff. And I was like, okay, cool. And so they started like putting all the like trackers on me and like, cause they're just like, oh, it's just easier for us personally. So we can get everything where it needs to go and you can help us out if we need to. And I was like, yeah, whatever. Cool. That's one of the only times that I remember going back at all. I remember the endoscopy, but that's because they need you like semi-awake for endoscopies because they need to like have you in a certain position and put the mouth guard and everything on. So they also only keep you under for endoscopies for like 5 minutes. So they were like, it doesn't matter. We just need you sedated enough to where your throat doesn't do weird shit. So, but yeah, I mean, not that it's weird. Like you never went to sleep. It's interesting. But they give me, but yeah, they like hooked me up. They gave me the wires and they're like, okay, we're going to have you, I don't remember what they had me do. The one surgery I can remember, but they're like, we're going to have you like, I don't know if it was count or just like talk. Because like, I'm going to be honest, my autistic ass was like, I don't understand the reason in counting down. Why would I do that? Now I kind of know it so they know. So they know that you're like out. So I think like as long as I was talking, it was fine. But like I conk out pretty quick from drugs, honestly.
I'm a good girl. Bark.
Oh my goodness. Oh no, I'm at my sludge fund.
Sludge fund.
Thank you for the
Here
1,000
comes Lily
biddies.
Paziniga again, tossing around words like sludge. Too poor for quality contributions, hun?
Ow. Thank you. Oh, I gotta do the math. I gotta do the math to see how much we have for Nocturne altogether. I know we have at least 600. Correct. But yeah, so there's a chance that this is all connected to my spondylosis. However, I looked at my CT results. Kind of want to show you guys. I think it's neat. Like, look at my CT. I can show you guys my ultra nudes. Bro, if Ginger thinks that X-rays are ultra nudes, imagine how she feels about CT scans. Are there actually, I don't think there's any rules about showing X-rays, are there? I think it's just like, there's a possibility of like doxing yourself if there's medical information on it. Oh, hi, Danny. But when I look at my CT, I don't know how. I threw it into ChatGPT. I threw one image from my CT scan into ChatGPT. And even it could detect the spondylosis. But when I looked at it, I was like, what the fuck? How can you tell? I was like, these seem mostly fine, which is why I'm not a doctor. Dude, it's crazy. My CT scan, so I can access it and go through it. One of the scans has 400 images. It's like actually crazy. Can you tell how brain rotted I was as a teenager? I feel like this playlist has exposed how brain rotted I was as a teenager. As a teenager, yeah. That's why somebody was like, I don't remember what, oh. There's so much hate on TikTok about the stupidest things. I saw a video. It was a tweet reply yesterday. Somebody made like a tweet and they're like, if you're 30 years old and you're still into the same things you were when you were a teenager, then you need to grow the fuck up or something like that. Or if you're still into XYZ, even though it's like for kids, I don't remember what it was. It's like, you need to grow up, and someone like replied and they're like, I can't wait for you all to get to be 30 and realize you're still into the same things you were as a teenager. And I'm just sitting here like, I feel like that. I wonder if that's like a neurotypical experience too, or if it's like a lot of neurodivergence, because I feel like for us, we kind of figure out what we like pretty early on. Because like I did quote unquote grow out of anime, and I say that in the sense that like I would still watch it, but I just don't feel like I have the time to invest in it anymore. Oh, Wedge! I don't know if you're lurking or not. Or I mean, like, I don't know if you can type or not, but if you can't type, it's okay. Oh my god, Liz. Oh, this is a local doctor. Hang on. Sorry, guys. It was I have like, dude, well, my PCP stays in his own lane. I mean that with peace and love. I understand why he does it, but I'm used to having a PCP that was like, would struggle to try to figure things out herself. Like my nurse practitioner when I was in New England, she was very like determined. Like pretty much, I loved her in the sense that like she would let me try any medication that I wanted to for whatever it was. She's like, I don't mind prescribe. I took my coffee in there. No, because I was gonna drink the rest of the coffee and switch it out for apple juice. Okay. Well, after I tell you guys this, but no, But I was just like, I have like, but she very much would like order the test herself. And like, if she couldn't figure it out, she would refer me. She was really good. I really liked that one. But it was partially out of necessity is because like the people that they would refer out to were really shitty. And I think they were kind of required to refer in-house versus out. I think they had to refer in-house first and then they could refer out, but I don't remember. But basically, like, that nurse practitioner is great. She would just like basically like treat symptoms and do testing and do scans and stuff like that before she would like she would like refer me out to a specialist at the very last second, you know? Whereas like this one, he very much stays in his own lane. He very much stays in his lane as a PCP. And he's like, my job is to refer you out to specialists and like form your team of Avengers or whatever. And I was like, that's great in theory. I'm glad that didn't happen when I was gone. I was like, that's great in theory. And I don't blame you for that because you don't want to sit there and diagnose people with stuff. But like, unfortunately, in this situation, in this like climate for medical care, it's like you really got to start stepping up your A game. And I think he needs to get either he needs to get like some continued education or he needs to start doing research on his own so that he can like fully grasp like the conditions that his patients have. Like when I brought up POTS, he was like, I was like, do you know anything about POTS? And he's like, I think that's like mostly something that the elderly encounter, right? And I was like, nope. I was like, I have POTS. And like, I did kind of, I technically have a diagnosis from gastro. It's technically on paper. It's technically in my chart with gastro. Oh my God, did I just find a loophole? Wait. I don't think you would trust that though. Nate is still elderly. No, Nate's lucky. He has a PCP that like is willing to treat him as if he like his PCP got pissed and was like, dude, fuck this shit. We're doing this on our own. Whereas mine is like, I really need you to get diagnosed before I even touch you. And I'm like, fuck. So it's just like, I don't blame him for it, but I wish he would put forth more of an initiative. The PCP is base as fuck. There's actually, funnily enough, in the POTS like support groups, there's people that recommend certain PCPs because they're willing to diagnose the condition. Which is crazy. Like, because here's the thing about like Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, right? Not the one that I have, but the one that Nate has. Anyone can diagnose that because it's an all over the body condition. So it affects like an ophthalmologist could technically diagnose you with it. A orthopedic could diagnose you with it. A dermatologist could fucking a dermatologist, unironically, can diagnose you with things that you didn't really realize they could. A dermatologist can actually biopsy a butterfly rash and find out if it's lupus or not. They can technically diagnose you for Ehlers-Danlos and other connective tissue because of the skin elasticity. rheumatologist, orthopedic, like ophthalmologist, pretty much anybody, ear, nose, and throat could do it. And ear, nose, and throat is probably one of the first people that would notice for Stickler syndrome specifically, because for Stickler syndrome, a lot of people, God, I'm so lucky that I have my mom, dude, fuck me. My mom is like really lucky I did not have a cleft palate. Do you know how much in medical debt that would have set her back? Oh my God. Like, I can't imagine. Like, her just having to do like one surgery for like something that was like under my skin was like one thing. But if she had to like, yeah, no snow and will, yeah. I just asked Nate who his PCP is. Be like, hey, diagnoseopods. And then you can be like, hey, did you have some like weird blind girl come in here asking for a POTS diagnosis? And I'm like, yeah. But like, I have to go back to the East Coast eventually. Just slide me those credentials, buddy. Oh God. But yeah, no, they in the POTS support, like my seat is mostly like cardiologists and neurologists, and it's not a guarantee. And I'm still that. Also, that girl never called me back from the heart doctor. I'm just like, God damn it! I knew it was too good to be true. I don't know. I might still try to get a hold of them, but I don't know. But you know, I was talking with PCPs. I don't know. She's like the clinical manager. She's super sweet. I love her to bits. I was like talking to her and I was like, so yeah, and she's like, from personal, she's like, this is personal off the record type thing. And she's like, if you can get into the place that you're referred to, fucking full send that shit. And she's like, those doctors are really, really amazing up there. She's like, from personal experience, she's like, they're fantastic. And she's like, the layout of the place is really great. They have a lot of accessibility features. Like, it's just a really great experience. And so I'm like, oh, thank God. I'm like, it's good to know that I'm in good hands. I did ask because I see nephrology in 2 weeks. Like next Friday, I see nephrology. And I was like, do you have any like opinions on them? And she's like, we've had one patient that went there after going to the place that you're referred to. And funnily enough, they actually preferred the one here. And I was like, okay, all right, as long as I know I'm in good hands. Because, like, here's the thing. I don't want to have to travel a long time to get to a doctor that I can just see locally. So if I can see the nephrology here, that's totally fine. I don't mind that. But specifically for gastro, apparently they're really good up there. So I'm like, whew, all right, let's go. Let's do this. So I'm excited. I'm hopeful. And they said that like they're really good. Like all of their doctors are really good. So if the gastro doctor thinks that my L5S1 is contributing to this, because she told me she gave me her advice. She's like, I would start with this referral and work your way out. She's like, because if you can see those doctors, it'd be way better than seeing most of the ones down here. I was like, okay. But she said, like, if the gastro doctor thinks that the L5S1 is related, then at least they can refer you to a neurologist to get an MRI. And I was like, okay, cool. Dude, if all of this can be like relative, I know it'll be physical therapy. I might have to have like posture correction or whatever, but like, I don't necessarily think it's when I hunch my back over when I sit, because the thing is like when I unhunch it, the nerves and doing a bit stretch. The nerves and like everything that like get tense or stiff when I like sit up straight are way higher. It's my middle back that has that issue. So I don't think I'm hyperextending it from that point. I do think that was probably my issue with my last chair, though. But now that I have this chair, it's helping a lot with the L5S1. But yeah, it's interesting how everything is connected. Because she's like, well, there's somebody sitting at my door. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And she's like, it's okay. And I was like, I'm sorry, I'm so yappy. Need a new chair too. Yeah, I just really like this one because of like, while I don't take advantage of the full lumbar support, like I sit hunched over like a fucking shrimp because of my body. It has enough in the lower back that it keeps me from being in too many issues. So at least there's that. But yeah, it's been crazy. Let me go drink the rest of my coffee and switch out with either apple juice or water. I think I should do water. I've been having a lot of apple juice lately, and I think it might be too much sugar. I say that for my liver. So let's do that, and then I kind of want to go down the TikTok. I kind of want to doom scroll TikTok with you guys so you can see what we got. Oh, and I kind of want to talk about the Amaranth situation because that's fucking crazy, dude. And if you don't, I'm told I say your name wrong, but I don't know. I think that's because of my speech issues, but. Yeah, that shit's crazy. I want to talk about that too. So, the Amaranth situation. Yeah, this literally just happened. It literally just happened yesterday. I'll debrief you guys when I get back. If you know, don't talk about it yet. I want to be careful what we say about it because it's kind of triggery. But it's not completely, you know? Like, I don't think it's worth a trigger warning, but it's definitely... It can be. But let me go grab my coffee/water. Right. Unironically, this is a good time to bring up TikTok because I think does it include nudes? No. I will give a minor trigger warning because this does bring up if you want like a TLDR, husband and wife screaming at each other for 10 minutes or 10 hours while live streamed. If you want to tell me that you're not going to be, if you want to be muted while we watch this video and discuss it first, I will type something in chat. I will type something in chat when it's safe. It's just like, it's more toxic relationship versus, I don't want to say it's not on the side of a boost, but because that's not for me to decide. But as far as what you will see and what is mentioned, if you want to watch muted, I will give you a countdown and I'll let you know when. No, horny, not interested. I kind of want to like talk about this because we talked about the first situation and we talked about her a couple of times, and I think this is like, I've seen a very similar situation to this play out before. And while the person on the live stream seems like the person, oh god, this is really hard to talk about without like being like, all right, we'll just get the context. You watch this summary of it from Philip DeFranco. I've watched Philip DeFranco for bro years. Yeah, walking in. This is not, no. For the record, this is not drama. This is not tea. This is not gossip. This is real people, real life situations, and that's something I'm going to keep in mind for this. This is not drama, not gossip, nothing like that. It's just I kind of have some theories on it, and I want to talk about it. So let me get, I think it's this one. Yes, you will see political. You'll see political titles. Watch this have been like an actual older video. Watch this have happened like 3 weeks ago or something, and I'm just like. Maybe it's not this. Oh, I think he has a couple of. I think he has a couple of accounts. Because I think there's. Let me look up her name specifically. Watch this have been something that happened like years ago. Is the video gone now? Wait, am I crazy? Maybe I'm crazy. I think I saw it right before I got on here. Hang on a second. Video. I'm just gonna see if I can send. Oh yeah, my phone is fucking dying for some reason. I gotta plug this bitch in. You know that's. I got my search history. I got my search history. My watch history. It might be gone. Oh no, it's right there. Watch it be an old repost though. Let me see. No, it's from the verified account. Oh, is it? Yeah, it is a different account. Okay. All right, found it. Cool. Yeah, he has a couple of accounts. He has like his main one where it's like mostly like political. The kind of account that you're just like, what fucking now, dude? Then there's PDS Pop Culture. Which, I don't know, I feel like this is less pop culture and more shit, you know? Alright, PDS, Pop Culture. I'm pretty sure it's this one. Alright, so trigger warning happens now. It's gonna be thoughts of toxic relationships. If you want to mute, I will type in chat when it's safe. It's a shorter video, so. But I think this is important because this is like what I kind of want to look at this in a really lighthearted way, in the sense of like, am I the asshole? Because I'm curious about. I'm wondering about some of this stuff. All right, pop culture. Okay. And then unhide. This should be fine. And then mute the DNA side. Alright, this one's crazy, dude.
Let's talk about one of the most requested stories over on the text line today, and that is this disturbing Amaranth situation. And now she's back in the news today because police showed up to her home after she and her husband were in an hours-long screaming match over on Kick. With all this playing out over a long time, most of it being streamed, and I'm only going to touch on the most viral moments. During this, they talked about so much, and they often discuss the potential of a divorce and the logistics around that. With at one point, her husband accusing her of cheating.
Can we talk about you kissing black men while we're married?
That is not even true. Oh my God.
Oh, we don't want to talk about that one.
We can talk about that, sure.
Okay, let's talk about it.
You had me go on Tinder dates that I didn't want to go on, and then you started calling me while we were at the karaoke bar a lot.
Me if you could have an open relationship.
That is no.
So, she denies it, continues to say she hooked up with someone and that he caught them. And then at other points, they argued about the fact that the fight was happening on the stream. With then Amaranth saying that he knew that she was on stream when this all started. So it should be on him to get out, not on her to stop streaming.
This is where I have it.
I don't want to be streamed.
No,
I am telling you I don't want to be streamed.
Well, then
and
you
you are streaming. So that is literally me. And you're sitting here saying it's consensual because you're here.
I can stream in my own house. You don't have to be here.
Is that
That's kind of crazy. I don't know, dude. That's kind of crazy to tell somebody. Is this not the same basic dispute type thing between them for a year ago? It could be. Wait, is this the same husband? Is it? Wait, that adds even. Oh my God. Oh shit. That means she wasn't. Okay, because like here's the thing. One, I think she's like kind of a dick for saying that. I don't know, I'm asking. I am serious. I'm thinking, because like if it's the same guy, then this it's kind of even sadder. Because like that was a really big deal at the time. And it really seemed like she was gonna get out of that situation. Oh, that sucks, dude. If it's the same person and she's still going through the same stuff she was, that's really unfortunate. That's another layer of this. That's why I'm wondering if it's the same dude. Here's the thing. If it was a different guy, it made sense because it's the same. If it's the same dude, it made sense a lot more. I wanted to talk about this because of this part in particular. Because, like, I don't think it's necessarily... Like, one, it's kind of a dick thing to say that. But also, I think she may have been trying to get him to leave the house. But if it's the same person, then of course she would live stream it because it's a safety mechanism. Because, like, who's gonna, like, do anything if it's being live streamed, right? Like, that's kind of my thought process on this is, like, if this is the same guy or not, like, she's probably live streaming as a safety precaution. But also, it sounds like she's being a dick by saying that, like, oh, if you're here, I'm allowed to stream. It sounds like she's being a dick when she says that. However, it could be because she wants him to go. Like, she wants him to get out of the house so that he can cool off and this doesn't have to be what it is. It's the same guy? Oh my God. That explains why it was streamed. I'm gonna be honest. If everything was true from the last instance. Again, we're like, I'm not even gonna play the full video. There's a part in here. It's not like bad. but it's not great. And I don't really feel like this is like a hard situation in general. Because like I'm not blaming her. I'm not blaming either of them, honestly. This is just like antagonizing him in a doesn't sound like a good way. This is just a snapshot of a 10-hour stream. That's that makes it even more, because the last time that this happened, she streamed the phone call. That was what started a lot of this, is she streamed a phone call. That was last year. This is now I really don't want to talk about this. Now I really don't want to like get into it, because like this is way worse than I thought it was. I thought it was a different dude. It was 2022. Okay, it's a couple of years. Yeah, I didn't think it was like last year, but I think latest. Ooh, the netmates. Because I was gonna make this a conversation about like streaming and consent for streaming and being on camera and stuff like that. I was gonna make this a conversation about that, but now I just feel icky. Now I just feel icky. I don't want to get involved in this. Making the executive decision to just move on. Abort. Well, I mean, we'll just
A quick cut or pause in the stream with it, then picking up from a new angle where we see this.
I'm gonna skip over this. Again, it's nothing like, it's not bad, but it's still bad.
What's wrong with you? You got some problems, man.
The two then continue arguing, and then all of a sudden we hear a knock at the door.
I'll see it in time.
Who's
right? I don't know.
It's not alarming to you? That's okay.
No, because we have police as our security guards, and Chris is coming around this time, so I don't know.
Guys,
Was this someone? No, I skipped it.
It's then pretty hard to hear what the officers are saying as they stay in the background, but they eventually do call over Amaranth to talk as well. They're seemingly asking, are you okay? What's happening? But again, most of it's pretty hard to hear since they're removed from the camera setup. But it's also not where the talk of police ended, because at another point, she accused her husband of doxing her. And again, this isn't everything. There were over 10 hours of this being live
there's a
streamed.
lot.
But in the meantime, as we wait to see if anything comes from this, I gotta pass the question off to you. What are your thoughts here? Let's talk about
What are people's thoughts, actually? Who streams their arguments, bro? That's crazy. So that's the first comment. I can see why she does, though. In this specific case, now that we have the full context. I kind of... 10 hours sounds exhausting. Yeah, it's okay. I have zero thoughts. That's fair. It was a staged stream. So this is alleged. This is just a random comment. Ew. 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 That's such a bad take. Oh my fucking god. It's a planned stream to once again get sympathy income from people. They didn't say people who think giving her anything earns favor with her. They did this last time and she was supposed to change and never did. Bro. That's a lot. Ew. Yeah. That's a bad take, dude. That's okay. Here's the thing. I think if that was the case, it would have happened more than once every 2 years. Like it would have happened twice. It wouldn't have happened just twice. When streamers lose relevancy, okay, I think there's an extra layer of context that people need to understand here in this situation. This bitch has money. She does not need to stay relevant. Her blue, I don't think she has blue Twitch, but her blue Twitch adjacent accounts make her plenty of money. Her other accounts make her plenty of money. She has businesses. She has multiple businesses. So she's rich. Okay, rich is like subjective, because I know a lot of there's a lot of people talking about like, oh, like celebrities and pop stars be like, oh, they're so rich, why are they asking for blah blah blah. That's not always the case. Like, don't get me wrong, like Selena Gomez, Beyonce, Taylor Swift, like they've got money. But even then, it's like Chappell Roan doesn't just instantly become rich because she had like a couple of hits, you know? It's I don't know. The music industry is like really complicated. But yeah, she's got enough money, but here's the thing though. She's got people. She's smart with it. And most of her, like all of her accounting and stuff is taken care of. Like all of her books are like really by the book. And then she's got multiple businesses. She did go on the Caleb Hanner podcast, which is how I know a lot of this stuff. I saw clips of her, which is really interesting. I think she's a good person to look at if you want to know like kind of what being at the top as a streamer or whatever is like to an extent with money. Because here's the thing, a lot of streamers in a lot of like different US states or like even overseas, they basically make like they basically keep, it's almost like New York where like Nads was talking about it, where like most of his income goes towards taxes. It's the same as like overseas streamers. They get like maybe 50%, if that, of their revenue because they have to not only like take care of their side of things, but they also have to pay taxes in the US. So it like really complicates things. She is a smart businesswoman. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say is like, if you're in like 100 times the minimum wage, if you're like saying they're rich is fair. Well, that's the thing that we don't know. That's why. Thank you for the follow. That's the thing is like Taylor Swift, Beyonce, Selena Gomez. They've been around for ages. Child actors. I mean, Serena Carpenter. You know, like child actors. Been in fame for a really long time. Of course, they're rich. But you don't really see like Sabrina Carpenter or Chappell Roan buying mansions right now because like they only just got their hits, and it kind of depends on if it's enough or not. It's public. Is it public? Although money doesn't mean the same for all people. Yeah, that too. I mean, there's a difference between being rich and being filthy rich, though. This is a really... I know it's like... This is a really hard thing to, like, try to hammer across. Streamers are in a different bracket, yes, to a degree. However, you also kind of have to look at, like Belle the Whale. She didn't buy a mansion. She's living in a decent place. Tricky is still in an apartment. Iron Mouse is like one of the few streamers that's actually been able to buy her parents a house out of like the VTubing sphere because of how much money she makes per year. And like she's in the US, so she doesn't really have to worry about, she's technically in the US, so she didn't really have to worry about okay, as far as we know. And she did speak to US Congress, so as far as that goes, I feel weird. Even if something is like semi-public and like well known, I feel weird talking about like personal details like that. Estimate net worth of 25 mil. For what? Iron Mouse? But also, none of those are ever accurate. Those are like grossly overestimated. Amaranth? Yeah, that's the thing though. I'm not saying she's not rich. What I'm saying is that it's really hard to assume that people are rich just because they do XYZ. I'm just saying that she makes enough income from her other avenues of either content creation or businesses that like she doesn't need to stay relevant as a streamer. I think that's where that's where this conversation got lost. One, I think I understand why you said it's public. It's not public information how much these people make. You can't access the IRS. These are really rough, gross estimates. Like, I think I remember one of my friends looked at their YouTube estimated revenue, and it was way higher. And they were like, "God, I wish I made that much." So it's not public. Unless the person says it, it's not public. And you compare to normal PQ, like, oh my fucking God, you're missing the point. You guys are really, really, really missing the point. You don't know how much these people make. At all. And no matter how much money they make, you don't know how much they're spending into the business. In order for someone to make quality streams and host it, dude, events alone, like Michi's 3D debut, between the MMD, getting vocals mixed, having 3D models made, and everything else for that event, that was an expensive event. Normal people just can't do that. Shrek, this is what, okay. I feel like, here's the problem. I'm also poor. I don't... We can't guarantee... Oh, fucking Christ, dude. It's a business. That's what I'm trying... It's a fucking business. There's a difference between what money the actual person has access to and what money is in the business. Like, if you want to start managing, even just managing extra money is expensive. That's why I know the VTubers are up there. Ours is expensive. That's what I'm trying to say. The person themselves has X amount of money, yes. But a lot of these, like, quote unquote public numbers, one, they're grossly off. And two, that doesn't take into account profit and loss. The business is separate from the person. Someone can make $10,000 a month, but in order for them to make that $10,000 a month, they have to pay so much into editors, accountants, content managers, sponsor managers. Like, look at Doki Bird, for example. Like, Doki Bird is probably a really good example. She's an indie VTuber and she's very outspoken about, like, her employee situation and, like, having to invest in merch and having to invest in employees and, like, having to, like, have a manager and everything else. It's like, if you factor in somebody makes $10,000 a month, 50% of that goes towards taxes. That's $5,000 that's left. Then an extra, okay, let's say 50% of that goes towards employees. That person is now just making the same amount of money as someone who works full-time at a W-2 job. If you take a $10,000 a month streamer, subtract taxes and employment fees, they are making the same exact amount that someone in the US would per month as a full-time employee. That's what I'm saying, is, like, it's really hard to know what someone's financial situation is just by, like, outward appearances. Like, in order for Amaranth to afford what she has, just security alone, in order for her to afford the security alone, that's already pretty fucking expensive. And so like I think that's like where things get like really like muddy to a sense, is like that's what I'm trying to say, is like it seems like a lot of these things, and it's all about like perspective too. Like a lot of your bigger like VTubers aren't just going out and like traveling all the time. They go to like a couple of conventions a year, maybe go on vacation once or twice, and then the rest of it, dude, half of them still live with their fucking parents. Half of them still live with their parents. And so it's hard. It's hard to like grasp the full spectrum of something as just like, I travel all the time. I don't know what this is like gonna make. I don't know. I don't think this is a conversation that should really make anybody mad, but there is an extent to certain situations, because like here's the thing, like if Amaranth wants to like live somewhere with security like that, she can't live in a place with an HOA. Probably, I would just assume HOAs are weird, dude. She wouldn't be able to live with somewhere that has an HOA. She wouldn't be able to live in an apartment building. She'd have to live somewhere that is like very specific, so that's going to cost a certain amount of money. Then she has to have all the studios. People get mad over everything. Yeah, but I'm talking about you guys. Because that's the thing, is like I'm trying to explain this as like easily as possible, and like not upset anybody, and not be like you're wrong, because I'm not saying she doesn't have money. I'm saying in general it's really hard to discuss these things about like bigger streamers, because like you really the information's not public. And that's like the first misconception, is like people are like, oh, like this person has an estimated net worth, blah 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 blah. That's bullshit. That doesn't matter. It's not real. It's just a gross estimate of a number. And a lot of those places don't even get into where they got those numbers from. And like, unless someone is specifically on Twitch Tracker and like has the thing, you won't be able to see how many subscribers somebody has. You won't be able to see how many like bits people have. And so like getting those numbers are all purely estimates, and like they could have been based off like a really good month and then just averaged across the rest of the year. Like it's like all about like all those like quote unquote public information sites are just like, they're just trying to get traffic. That's all it is. They're just trying to get traffic. They don't care. And so like it's really hard though, because like it's kind of, you know what? No, you guys should understand. You guys should understand why this is like such a subjective topic, is because of Niji Sanji. I think that's like the best thing I can say to you guys right now. Think of Niji Sanji. I'm gonna go get some answers. That's like the best way I can describe it, is like you have to like, okay, Niji, this is like a really, really bad like estimate, but it's very similar concept, is like people join corporations because of their benefits. However, corporations also need to make money too. And so a lot of the talents and stuff like that, they're signing up to become a talent who makes like quote unquote thousands of dollars a month in like super chats and stuff. But then Niji takes a percentage of that, and YouTube takes a percentage of that. Then like if that person was indie in the same situation, it's gonna cost somebody. It's gonna cost somebody way more as an indie sometimes to get what they need from a corporation. And it's just like any business. People don't realize overhead costs of running a business. That's why the charge a markup. Yeah, and that's why a lot of small businesses are more expensive, is because it costs them more money to do things. And like I said, maybe I'm just explaining this terribly, and I'm sorry if I upset anybody. But like I don't have money by any means. I literally live like, I'm below the poverty line significantly, so I'm not trying to upset anybody by this conversation because, like, I get it. And it's like, but at the same time, like, any upsetters in chat. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I said something wrong. Sorry. I just get really bad social anxiety. Ugh. Because here's the weird thing
I'm
about
a
it.
good girl. Bark, bark, bark.
Anyways, love you bunches and I'm a head off to bed lubbers.
Enjoy your bed.
001, your departure vastly improves the quality of this chat. Good night.
Holy shit. That's rough. Thank you for the biddies. No, it's not your guys' fault. I just got really scared when chat died. That I said something wrong. And maybe I wasn't explaining myself properly, or I was over explaining myself, or like, oh no. I was just trying to say, like, it's not as black and white. And it's easy to be mad because people are, I mean, clearly they're technically in a better situation than we are. However, there's some things you have to do out of necessity. Like, I know part of the reason why she has that property that she has, again, just from the Caleb Hammer podcast. It was just trying to use an example, and it's like a very bad example. I'm not sitting here being like, man, the original conversation was just like literally into. The bottom line just kind of comes down to like, actually, time to fuck off. That's fair. All I was trying to say is like, while some people are living in a better situation than we are, it is hard to know exactly like what's going on in that and like what's into the business. It's just like, what I was really trying to get at is that the attitude of like, well, this person has X amount of money, so why should I care? Or this person has X amount of money, so their opinion isn't valid. Or this person has X amount of money, so I got so wrapped up in trying to explain myself properly that I forgot what the original point was even supposed to be at this point, so. But I just got scared that I said something wrong because chat died. And it's not your fault. I'm not saying that, like, you guys should always talk or whatever. Just, like, I got scared that I made you guys mad. That's all. Ugh. I know it's all, like, coincidence, and it's not your fault. It's nobody's fault. It just, like... Because I was trying to explain myself, and the last message a couple of people said were a little heated. I was just like, oh shit, did I fuck up? I feel like my original point was just like, one, we don't know what somebody's financial situation is, and two, just because they have more money than we do doesn't mean they're not going through shit. So... Ugh. Or that they have as much disposable income as we think they do, which is also crazy, because, like, what I was trying to get to is that a lot of people think that just because someone is, like, a big streamer, or, like, people are people. The people think that because someone is a big streamer, they have, like, all this money, that, like, all their problems should be fixed, or that it doesn't matter because they have a ton of money or whatever. But, like, at the end of the day, we really just don't know. And those estimates are also, like, really off. And that's just what I was trying to say. But a jet ski helps. I mean, you know, that's the thing, though. That's what I was, like, trying to say is, like, well, a lot of the bigger streamers, like, have more money than us in a general sense. Is like, it's crazy because, like, they aren't exactly going out, and, like, they don't have multiple homes. They don't have, like, some of them still, like, some of them, like, legitimately started, like, their own little streamer houses out of necessity, because, like, they needed better space, better net, and, like, all that kind of stuff. There's a lot that goes into, like, streaming professionally like that. And so when it gets to a certain point, like, it is crazy. And many of the ones that do are kind of assets about it. Yeah, that's fair. Because, like, that's something, though, is, like, it's mostly, like, the ones that... A lot of the flush streamers are the ones that have, like, they have the significant living. They have a significantly different living situation than a lot of us. However, some of them still, like, have roommates out of necessity. Crying in your own limousine is cooler. Comfier than crying on a bus. Yeah, but here's the thing, like, that's what they don't have limos. They don't have, like... No. It's, like, the people that have, like, multiple streams of income that have, like, better lifestyles like that. Like, even, like, I don't watch H3 anymore, obviously, but, like, back when H3 was, like, not as canceled into the ground as they are right now, they were talking about, like, that podcast makes a good chunk of money. However, he also has, like, the employees that have to run the show. Here's the thing. I think it's funny. Has anybody ever noticed that it's kind of funny that, like, a lot of... Yeah, I got sniffle. A lot of, like, the YouTube podcast sides invest a lot of money into production. Like, having a studio, having employees, having that kind of stuff. But then, like, on the more, like, streamer slash, like, YouTube or Twitch and Kick side, it's like a lot of us are, like, self-managed, or not self-managed, but a lot of those, like, events and stuff are hosted by a single person, or it's done by, like, a couple of people. Not have paid off either. But, I don't know. Now I just kind of feel like I lost the point, and I lost the point. I carried on stream, and I didn't even need to. I've seen streamers invest more into their equipment as opposed to staff. Yeah, it's interesting. But like equipment upgrades, business. I think that's just what I was trying to say in general. Is like when you look at bigger streamers, like Iron Mouse is in a bit of a different situation because like she doesn't have. Like when she basically commissions artists, right? She doesn't really host like full-blown events or anything. So she has a little bit more, like she'll do music videos, she might do some M&D stuff, and I think she does a concert once or twice a year. A lot of Iron Mouse's stuff is to like spend money to like help out with taxes to make it not so bad. Like if you look at it like objectively, like Iron Mouse, like I don't know. This is like kind of the twist to it. I don't think there's too many people that look at Iron Mouse and go, well, she has money, so like why does her opinion matter? But then if it's somebody else, that doesn't really get thrown around in the VTubing community as much. I guess is what I'm trying to say is like it mostly kind of gets thrown around at flesh tubers. It's like, oh, they're like striving to be like remain relevant. They're like fighting to do XYZ, but with VTubers, it's mostly like nobody really says anything about it. But I think I didn't realize it was going to be a hot topic, and I'm sorry. I shouldn't have brought it up. I should know that money is always going to be a controversial discussion, and that's on me, and I'm sorry. I just try to like kind of help control the vibes and directions of like I just don't like having super strong negative opinions about things that we don't know anything about, if that makes any sense. Like that's where a lot of me going back and forth with people kind of comes from, is because like I don't want people in my chat making some of the like absolute shit takes some of these like TikTok comments are taking, you know? And it's like there's that weird disconnect between flesh and virtual. Yeah. And it's not, I guess, because that's the thing is like people are like, oh, VTubing is getting more and more mainstream. And it's like, I kind of understand where some people think that's a bad thing. Not like that it's all bad, but that it can cause some negative consequences because, I mean, look at how people treat flesh tubers. And people that stream with like cam on and stuff like that. Like hell, look at how people like treat like sex workers and stuff. It's crazy. And then like everything comes at a cost. And like not everyone can handle that cost mentally or physically either, because like can't trap all kinds of people. Yeah. And then like in this circumstance, like specifically with like some of these like absolute atrocious states in these comments, it's like one, it opens up to more of that kind of like criticism and hate, but two, like I saw nobody really knows how true this Reddit post is. Some people think it's just made up, but there's someone that made a Reddit post recently as a streamer, and they said that they were kind of wondering how others would handle exponential growth or like what they're supposed to do, because they're like, now that it reads like imposter syndrome, but I don't think it always has to be imposter syndrome. And imposter syndrome can be like a small part of it too. It's just like, I think there's a big, I think that's why people like when people always say like it's better to go slow than to grow fast, is because a post like this is a Reddit post and it's just being like, you know, I went from averaging like 200 to 300 viewers a day, so like now I'm averaging like 2 to 3K and they're just like, it's really overwhelming. And now that I have it, I don't want it. It's like, it's really overwhelming. It's really stressful. It's a lot to deal with. And they're not really sure. Or just bad. People just hate Amaranth for anything she does. I think there's some legitimate criticism, but I don't know what it is anymore. But some people... Bat, hi. But I think it's like, it's one of those things where the person was like, you know, I basically grew overnight. It's a lot to deal with. And like, it's a very, it was actually, you know what? The comments were kind of very similar to like how some of you guys felt, in the sense of like, a lot of people were doubting like how real it was. Some people were being like, wow, you're really gonna like look a gift horse in the mouth kind of thing. And like, it's the same with like you guys and some of your opinions on like people and streamers and content creators having like X amount of money is like, well, I mean, they're rich. So like, it is what it is. And like, I'm not saying any of you guys had that opinion about like, oh, she's rich, so like, it doesn't matter what she goes through. No, I'm just saying like some of the issues of being like, people get like really, and this is why I'm saying like I should probably be more careful about like topics of like money or income come up to discussion about this, and like probably steer away from the money topic in general in that sense, is because it's like, as much as like people are going to be like salty and a little bit bitter and jealous that like people have more viewers than they do, it's like, oh no, you're averaging 2K viewers, how sad for you. It's also very similar. This would be like, oh no, you make like X amount of money a month. But I think that's why I should be careful when these conversations come up again, and like try to be a little bit more. She's not even problematic compared to other big creators. So I've always found that odd. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't. Criticizing is fine. Hating is just weird. Yeah, that's fair. I think there's like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think there's some valid criticism. If I can't remember what it was specifically, but I think there was some valid criticism, but I think it's just personal taste. And I also think that like anytime you have a streamer been broke, I've been comfortable. I've been doing both. Yeah. I've been like $20 a week for groceries poor. I've been like on food stamps and having like my electric bill covered by the state. I've lived in income-based housing. I've lived in a homeless shelter. I've lived in other circumstances, but I guess like, I think the difference between like my personality and some other people's personalities is like, I've never really been envious of more lavish lifestyles. Like, it'd be fine for a day or two, but like living in that like constantly 24/7, I don't, absolutely fucking not, dude. Hey, Pito Man. But that's good. It's just like, I'm just like, I don't want that. And that's what kind of said about streaming too, is like, I just want to make enough money to like be able to afford my own groceries and possibly take on more of the bills than I currently do. Or like have like a nice little savings stash, but like it's hard. It's hard to talk about stuff like this with people. And it's just like, I'm not saying any of you guys are like this. I'm just saying that like, it's very similar comments on that Reddit post to like the kind of people that made similar comments about like people who have like a lot of money in their eyes. It's just like, if I could just have like a drop of that, if I could just have part of that, if I could just do X, if I could just do Z. And it's just like, yeah, that's fair. And I get the envy, and I get the thing is like, I would never have to worry about anything again, blah, blah, blah. And that's the thing, you don't. One, like, it depends on a lot of factors about like how you got the money, how the money is spent, like all that kind of stuff. living like that and turning it into base content like Eisen is the best way. I have no idea. I never watched him. But I think it's like, it's interesting. And I think that's probably like part of Asmongold's situation too, is he's like, I just want to live comfortably. I don't want to like live a lavish lifestyle. I also just like, I think part of Asmon's issue is he just doesn't want to fucking deal with it, which is fair. Because that's kind of the situation. It becomes a job in and of itself to manage your money, which is why a lot of people end up paying like accountants and stuff like that to take care of it. And like the bigger you get, the more money you spend. So it's just like, that's why I'm saying, like, try to like think about things in a very like reserved way, in a sense. Like, I don't know. It's hard because like I was trying to make a point and I don't even know what it was anymore. And then I felt like I just made you all mad. And then we were arguing instead of talking. And I want to talk and I want to have conversations. But also, like, I wanted to get my point across and be understood. But I think in doing that, I just kind of screwed everything up. And I'm sorry. Maybe I should come back off my meds. Maybe yapping isn't the best idea for me. Is I feel like we end up here's the thing is like, while I find it interesting and I like talking about stuff, a lot of the stuff that I'm interested in or like talking about aren't like super great. It's not like teehee funny stuff. And like I try to make it a little more lighthearted for stream. This one was an accident. This one was an accident. I didn't realize it was the same guy because that adds extra layers to the situation. But like, I'm sorry, guys. I won't do it again. I'll make a conscious effort. Yeah, my dad has an accountant just because he doesn't want to deal with it. He doesn't have his own business or anything. Yeah. But I'm sorry. I hope nobody's actually upset, and I hope that we can move past this. Probably not the best time to say it's a one moment. I don't know. I mean, is anything also upset? Okay, maybe like a better way to say it is that I felt like I was talking and everybody, how do I say this appropriately? It kind of felt like I was being stupid. Or like people didn't think I was making a valid point or that my point was stupid. I don't know. I like really self-conscious. I don't like, there's a reason why some of us like that have either been bullied or dealt with other situations don't like the whole bully the streamer dynamic. My only thing is like, don't call me dumb, don't call me stupid, don't belittle me in a sense of like my intelligence or my skill levels, because like that's kind of my big issue is like, you had a legit point. That kind of means a lot coming from you. But I think I was just getting lost in the sauce. I understood exactly what you were trying to say. I was just gaming, so I wasn't chatting. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, it was 100% a coincidence. It was 100% a coincidence. So you have to use /sis and /j. Yeah, sometimes. It really helps me contextually if you say that in like Discord. Because there's been some instances where I'm just like, is this person being serious? Because, like, that's kind of fucked up. I think if you had a knee-jerk reaction talking about rich people, you're fine. Yeah, that's fair. But I think, like, actually, I am... But that's why I wish there was more transparency about it. Is because, like, you have some people who can coast off of... How do I say it? Like, some actors and singers and songwriters and other things, like, you know, there's levels and hierarchy. Like I said, there's a difference between, like, Beyonce, Taylor Swift, and Selena Gomez to, like, Sabrina Carpenter. And then there's a difference from Sabrina Carpenter to, like, I don't know, we're gonna pull this one out of my ass. Hilary Duff. Because, like, that's the thing is, like, I almost, like, once you've hit a certain... It's not like you can go back to retail or anything, like, if you start to have issues. So I feel like a lot of them probably just either have investments and businesses, or they, like, get involved into the scene in a different way. Like, maybe they help arrange events, like, maybe they, like, help, like... give people consultations and stuff like that. Please don't put celebrities in your ass. That's something I haven't heard. I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, she's living decently, but she's not living crazy. Shit, my hold. But it's just like one of those things of, like, Hilary Duff is, like, some people get really screwed too. Like, some child actors, like Jeanette McCurdy is a really good one that, like, got, I mean, it's, the story isn't a good one, but the whole situation is a good example of, like, she did a lot when she was younger, but she didn't get to see any of it, which is why some laws and stuff are such a big deal right now. Living comfortably, I'd say, yeah. And I think that's, like, the big difference. I think that's, like, the big difference between things is, like, there's, like you said, there's levels to it, but I think, like, part of what set me into the direction of having this conversation is because, like, I feel like people almost use rich as a derogatory term. Into a sense, and, like, that's where, okay, that's kind of where I was going with this. Some people use rich as, like, a derogatory term. And then, but they think that all of these big streamers are, like, actually rich versus a significant amount of their money just goes back into the business. And that's not always by, like, when you're on a smaller scale, like me, for instance, right? Like, I can do streams. I can, as long as, you know, there's a difference here. There's a couple of things. I can stream. I can host, like, single person events. I can do stuff like that. However, I can't do 3D concerts. And if I do them, the one way that I could probably potentially afford it, there's still a lot that goes into that. I can't do, if my computer died tomorrow, wouldn't be able to do anything about it. Please, PC, don't let me down. But, like, I don't have any savings. I don't have an account that could take care of that. Could theoretically put on a credit card, but... Being rich is not a negative thing, but that's what I'm trying to say, though. A lot of people do use it as... I don't know what derogatory is, basically. It's be, like... just, like, a way to be, like... dismissive of people. Even comparing the rich people to those that pay them to sing at some wedding is crazy. Dude, there's some, like, crazy stuff. Being rich is not negative. That's what I'm saying. It's not a negative thing, but people treat it as if it is. It's like, once you get to a certain point, no one takes you seriously anymore. But, like, it's all, like, unfounded claims. It's like, well, this website on the internet said you're worth, like, $1 million. And it's like, I wish, dude. I fucking wish. But then that's the thing is, like, theoretically, if the Twitch channel, like I said, makes 10K a month, and like you just kind of take out 50% of that for taxes, now you're left with 5K a month. And then if you take out whatever funding and stuff you need for like whatever employees you have, that takes out of the amount. And then as far as like your actual take-home pay, for some people, it's either just as much or less than a full-time job. There's some people, and like that's kind of why like it helps when people like live with either other streamers, or they like live quote unquote below their means. And I say like quote unquote is like they're living in an apartment versus a house, or like they're doing XYZ, is so they can like put more money into the business and they don't have to worry about it. Because like a lot of these people, I argue the way you get rich is really important to the contest. It's not too long ago, I would argue that rich pretty much equated exploiting others in some capacity, but since today it's possible to get rich for being an entertainer, for example, for people willing donations as a subject. So that's also, but here's the like, I think I just like try to get people the benefit of the doubt here in the sense of like Amaranth specifically, because a lot of people will dismiss her and invalidate her because she's a sex worker. And then it becomes like an even bigger issue. And so, but like a lot of people, like, if we're going to be a little topical, that Vice reporter lady that went after Kersha, she tried to cancel Via Lore because they lean into, as the entire company, not just one or two people, the entire company, because they do Blue Twitch stuff. And like the company itself is like very big on like NSFW audios, and everything else is pretty much to your own devices as far as the rest of it goes. But like she literally just tried to cancel them because they work on Blue Twitch. And there's a threshold where I'm like, all right, that's too rich. That's fair. But like it becomes like a topic of like, that's like Via Lore's whole thing. Yeah. They tried to cancel them for it. Yeah. That's they tried to like take down the whole company because like a big percent of like one of the big controversial topics about like Blue Twitch and NSFW content is that it is preying on the loneliness pandemic, or it's preying on desperate men, or parasocial. It's using parasocial tactics to extract money out of people. And like, so it still comes down to a big chunk of like, I think the big thing in this situation is just like, if you're successful in any way, shape, or form and people deem you successful enough, they're just going to shit on you. They're just going to shit on you because you're successful. That's all it really comes down to. Haters gonna hate. I mean, yeah. That's such a funny way of referring to that platform. It's pretty close though, because like the thing is like the streaming aspect of it is pretty similar. Because like a lot of it's mostly used for live streaming. Like yeah, people do photos and videos and stuff like that too, but like yeah, that's just a good way to say it. It's super similar, yeah. Because, like, that's the thing is, like, you become successful as a streamer, you're exploiting your viewers. And, like Iron Mouse, you're exploiting your viewers with your medical stuff. Like, you're just garnering sympathy because, like, you have this immunodeficiency issue. And you're just, like, exploiting people to, like, you're exploiting your illness to get money from people. Successful, like, Blue Twitch and Orange Twitch streamers, it's like, well, you're just exploiting the loneliness pandemic, or like desperate men who just want to like feel something or whatever. It's like, dude, people they're paying for gooning content. Like the amount of times that people have gone parasocial / like gone overboard is because of something in their brain. You existing doesn't suddenly make them parasocial. Yeah, have life with all the shitty, bitter bitches, unfortunately. And that's the thing is, like, I think it's just like, do people play games there? Yes. Yes, they do. Leave the gooners alone. And don't get me, there are people that have been like criticized of using parasocial tactics to exploit their viewers, but like that's always going to be a conversation no matter what. And so like it's a different like topic, and like the whole thing is just like kind of interesting, honestly. But people get parasocial newscasts. Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of the thing is like parasocial is gonna news. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the thing too, is like celebrities don't make personal custom content most of the time, and like people are parasocial with them too. It's it's like just because someone uses like if you want to kind of keep an eye out for parasocial behavior or like possible, and I say take this with a grain of salt because I've tried not doing these things and it's still fucking hard. One of the biggest tips for trying to avoid parasocial situations with viewers as streamers is to not say you love chat. Don't say you love anybody at all. Period. Don't say you love them. No, I love you guys. No, like, oh my god, thank you for the bits. I love you so much. None of that shit. That's like a big no-no. She hates us anyway. But like, I'm gonna be, if you've gone from being like in your personal life to streaming, that one's really hard. There's also people that don't know. My English teacher is like 3rd grade was really hot, to be fair. But doing, saying that you love chat, that you love anybody, saying that like, anything like that is like big, like that's like one of the biggest big no-nos, is like really try not to say that or do that. Then the next one that they tell you to avoid, and funnily enough, a lot of this comes from the kink community. Another one that they say to avoid is like, I don't know what they're actually called, but it's similar to like pet names. Like, don't refer to your chat as labels, and don't let your chat refer to you as labels, which is why you'll see a lot of streamers that have rules against like calling them mommy, calling them daddy, calling them Onisan, or why did I said that so white, Jesus Christ. Don't call your chat like, this is like where it gets a little this is why it gets a little like gray area for VTubers. Calling you guys my little starlings could actually technically fit into that category. Calling chat good boys, good girls can feed into it. Something they recommend against it if you're like trying to avoid parasocial situations. Whatever, call chat Pookie. Yeah. What the fuck was that? Oh, thank you for saying there's nothing. It's 5 minutes after everybody else. Really appreciate that, bro. Okay. I'm just kidding. Alright, what the fuck was that? I didn't even register. That was just a hard DC. That was just a straight up hard DC. Dude, the AC kicked on and the net just died. I can't even guarantee if that had anything to do with my internet. Let me go to Twitch Inspector. Maybe that'll tell me. That's crazy. AC kills net, apparently. Some powerful. Oh, wait, you know what? I wonder, unironically, I wonder if it was because of the power draw. I wouldn't be able to type in chat, though. In time for the... Oh. No, it's not just in time for the ads. It technically restarted stream. Did you guys even see DC Protect? I did? Okay. Did I make it back before DC Protect ended? Just die for me? Crazy. Okay. This is May 13th. Yeah, it's registering as a brand new stream. That was weird. 20 seconds, then you're back. Okay. That's fair. Probably be this one. And then where it ended. Yeah, that's where it just dropped. That was pretty stable, though. This is why, like, I don't understand the reason to use Twitch Inspector. Is because, like, it's never once really helped me. Like, at all. Yeah, I don't see anything. Diagnosing connection issues for Twitch is, like, one of the hardest fucking things you can do. I swear. Like, sometimes I lose full internet, sometimes I don't. Why? Because there's so many variables. It could be the server I'm streaming to. It could be the server you guys are watching from. It could be the browser. It could be my cable. It could be my router. It could be my modem. It could be my ISP. It could be my connection to Twitch. It could be the Twitch server. It's just like there's literally like 10 different things it could be. So, like, diagnosing internet issues, like, specifically, like, stream connection issues are incredibly difficult. Like the Windows troubleshooting thing, it almost never works. Yeah, like this Twitch inspector is good if like you want to see how often your stream is like having issues, but it's not going to tell you why it disconnected, which is like one of the biggest like reasons you would use it. Your stream appears to be experiencing some networking or encoding issues. Please let us know what issues you're experiencing. Yeah, because you can... That's the thing is, like, it knows that there was a problem. That's so wild, dude. Can be so much better, yeah. Useless Twitch. No, it's not Twitch. It's something that's made. I think it's a third-party app, but I don't know. But it's like... I'm looking at something. Verify internet connection. Check for outages. See, that's the problem is, like, if something happens for a second, it's not going to be reported anywhere. Like, you can't just go and check the Twitch server website, and it'll tell you, like, oh, the server, like, went down for, like, a second. Your stream encountered a problem. Okay, what's the problem? Your stream encountered a problem. Yeah, basically. I don't think... Because, like, the thing with me is that, like... Inspect current. Upload current log file. The thing with me is, like, my OBS logs always come back great. My Twitch analyzer always comes back great. Multiple game catchers, everything. Yeah, no. OBS logs are perfect. The logs are perfect. I didn't lose. That was actually like a connection issue. I do wonder when they're going to start working in our area, because they said they were going to work as oh no, that's normal. Okay. Yeah, it's not registered anything. Yeah. Everything always comes back great, so it's hard to, like, see. That's your problem. I'm sorry about earlier, guys. I didn't mean to get emotional. Here's the thing. There's also a good chance that I'm just kind of perpetually in a PMS cycle right now until my period starts. So I'm a little more sensitive than usual. I noticed it like 2 days ago. I was like, I've had 2 minor inconveniences today and I want to blow everything up. So. And then yesterday was fine. Minus almost going to the ER. And then today I'm just like, I think my chat hates me. I'm gonna cry. You're good. Can I just get some validation? Can I get some validation in the chat for my anxiety? And I need you guys to be honest with me, because it doesn't count. Doesn't count unless it's honest. But also, since Anon's here, Someone redeem my ginger hair. It never gets old. Oh yeah, that's the thing. Oh my god, I just got it. Okay. It gets funny. All right, I will actually expose you guys to the brain rot. All right, we'll end off on a good note, but I need you guys to be honest with me. Shut up. We will brain rot scroll TikTok in just a minute, but I need honesty. I need blunt, unadulterated honesty right now. Oh my god, woman, I know. Give me a vote. I love how everything happens in cycles. Can you elaborate on that? Because I don't know what you mean. Did it feel like I was arguing with you guys? This is also autistic feedback hour. This is also partially autistic feedback hour. Just asking for social purposes. Did it feel like I was arguing with you guys? Nah, okay. Well, I don't even think... Were you even here? For me, a little bit, maybe. Okay. I would like to say that I want to, like, be clear. I want to clear the air. I just want to, like, leave off on a good foot so nobody has any lingering anxiety. Just like, this isn't just for me. I just want to clear the air completely. I apologize for getting defensive over something that doesn't matter. And in turn, being argumentative. It was not my intention, but I understand that comes off and that happens a lot with my TISM. So I accept full responsibility and I apologize that I didn't handle things in a better way. Apologies are hard, man. Because my brain is just like, I'm sorry it was perceived that way. But that just kind of sounds like you're being like, I'm sorry you felt that way. But no, I'm sorry for how I acted and the way that it was perceived. I apologize for that, and I will do better in the future. Raise the ukulele. I don't find arguments to necessarily be about... Oh, that's a good... So, like, here's the thing. It was mostly towards a couple of people. And I hate to call you out like this, Pisto, but you're one of them. So I just want to make sure we're good. And not good in the sense of, like, I mean, it is what it is, it happened, it is what it is. I have no personal investment into this conversation, so I really could care less which side of the fence you're on. So just want to let you know that it doesn't have any bearing or any effect on that, and it is what it is. Yeah, all good, cool. So I will work on, because here's the problem. Is I think this is where the TISM symptoms are starting to get worse because I'm on ADHD meds. I think this is where I gotta, like, I'm trying to keep myself regulated and self-aware and looking for behavioral issues so that I can make a more informed decision about, like, if I want to try a different stimulant, if I want to try, like, going back off of meds or staying on them, or, like, should I be concerned about increasing the dosages? So this is also just kind of like a check-in, just like making sure everything is good. Thank you for the lurk. I see your lurk and raise you a bat-shaped high five. You take meds for TISM? No, ADHD. But if you have both ADHD and autism, if you take meds for ADHD, it can make your autism symptoms worse. So it's something that I have to, like, keep an eye on. All right, so the argument is taken care of. If I did upset anybody by making them feel inferior or like their opinion didn't matter or I was arguing anything, I do apologize and I'm sorry. again, this is like a conversation that I just got defensive about that doesn't really have any weight to me as a person. Like, I'm not rich. You guys aren't rich. I don't know why I just like got really hung up on something. It was difficult for me to like express it properly and like just be able to talk about it in a way that made sense. So that's on me. I should have known better. Not known better. I should have evaluated things a bit better before getting into it. Take meds. Oh my god. But yeah. Woman jump scare, yeah. I was trying to turn something else off, but there it is. Like one above this. I was messing with this. But I think I'm gonna leave. I'll turn it off. But yeah, I'm sorry. I apologize for my part in this, and you guys are right. Like your point. Okay, let me say this. Your points were just as valid as my point, but our points were crossing. If that made sense. I was mostly trying to get you guys to understand what I was trying to say, not necessarily go along with what I was saying. And I think that's the best way I can describe it. It's like both of us were like screaming the same point at each other over and over again, and neither one of us was like, neither one of us put two and two together. That was, yeah. So that was part of it. I'm sorry. I parasocially love you guys. I do appreciate you guys though, and I enjoy having you around. And you made streaming a much better experience for me, and I would not trade any of you guys for the world. So keep that in mind. I'm sorry if it came off as heated. It wasn't my intention at all. Yeah. And it's mostly, like I said, there's I know kind of why I started to get a little bit triggered. It's because, like I said, like when people are like either laughing when they say something or like, it kind of gives me the vibe that they're trying to act like they're better than me and that they know better than me and that I'm just stupid and what I'm trying to say doesn't make any sense, or that like what I'm trying to say is invalid or whatever. Like it gets like, it kind of hits into that area. And that's something that like, I don't encounter that very often here because you guys are really good about it, but it's just like sometimes little stuff will get to me like that. Like there's a reason why Steel doesn't make certain jokes towards me. There's a reason why, like, I don't get the same treatment that Ginger does in a lot of situations, because like, I can't handle it. I can't handle it emotionally, so. I'm really gonna hand sandwich instead. I hate ham. I like the spiral cut hams for holidays and like pork chops, but growing up poor deli meat ham was absolutely a texture nightmare for me. It's weird because like I used to love ham, and then it's like I went through puberty and I was just like, nah. You hate ham? Ham used to be my job. That's bad, yeah. I don't think there's anybody that was a part of that. It was mostly like Wiggles, Pisto. It was mostly just you guys. I don't think too many other people, but I just hope you guys know that it's never my intention to upset any of you, to make you feel bad, or just like when I was making frustrated noises, it was mostly just because like I felt like my point wasn't getting across very well, and that you guys thought I was making a stupid point. So that's all it was. Like I said, it was all coincidence. It was literally like, it was mostly a coincidence, but then like because it happened right after, there was a couple of like perceivably heated messages that chat kind of zonked out. I just got really in my head about it. So that's all. It's not your fault. That's what I'm saying. You guys don't owe me an apology at all. You guys don't owe me any apology, and like I know you guys If I felt bad, I wouldn't be here all day. That's fair. It's good to see you around, by the way. I hope you're enjoying things. I feel like I'm in a much better headspace lately, like in the last like year or so than I used to be. So I think like a lot of regulars that used to come around that maybe stopped because of my, I don't even know if tantrums are the right words, but like because of my issues and like how I kind of seemed like a major bitch. I think my streams are way more easier to watch now. Unless it stays like this. That's when I can. Yeah. But I feel like that's kind of the biggest thing here is just like, I'm getting better. I'm gonna try to adjust this window. Set transform. I kind of hate that you can't. Because if I do, hang on, let me try something. Because like, there's nothing on here that's like gonna dots me or whatever, so like it's fine. Oh, you know, that's actually, I could just use the PC app. That might work better than Chrome. Oi! I work here. The fire alarm beep. We're good. We're about to get into that. Okay, it does only show on my side. Nice. Okay. Let me adjust the window here. I do want to make this more of a snug fit situation. You know what? I have an idea. Hang on. I have an idea, chat. No, this looks fine. Nah, fuck it, we ball. I could put Rusty's up while we were doing this, so you guys can still. Oh, that's a good idea, actually. Because it'll fit in the right hand corner. I still don't get the beep. That's fine. The B3 redeem. Yes. Also, I gotta keep an eye out. What time is it? Oh, it's only just now 4:30. Okay. Alright. Setting. But, yeah. Okay. There you guys go. You see this video you speak of? So I will show you guys the video that kind of started this all, I think. I gotta keep it from autoplay and shit. Okay. I think we're ready. There we go. So there is now, I don't even know if a meme is the right word because they seem pretty genuine. But there is a video of this lady right here who's basically said,
I just need to remind y'all again.
Actually, let me do audio. Oh, that whole time I was fucking talking earlier, there was no music playing for you guys. Whoopsie. But
Everyone who is ginger, who has red hair, those are black people. All gingers are black people. If they have red hair, they are black. You see a white man with red hair, that's a black man. You see a white woman with red hair, that's a black woman.
I thought
Gingers.
it messed up my. I had that perfectly lined up. What the fuck? Man, you suck. I had this perfectly lined up. What the hell? That sucks.
Are black.
But yeah.
All gingers. I just need to remind y'all again, everyone who is ginger, who has red hair, those are black.
Scotty, don't say that. What the fuck? Don't say that. Sorry, it's okay. It just like. If you're revealing your secrets. But so it's just, it started off as this video. Question mark? Don't say people are on drugs. That's not cool. But yeah, no. So, lady, this isn't the first, okay, this isn't the first time this has come up. I don't mean anything bad. No, I know. It's just like for people who aren't gingers, this is gonna make a lot less sense at first. I'm sure it's a light point. So basically, the point is gingers were actually one of the first people persecuted by the colonists. Gingers have always been seen as subhuman to a degree. We have been demonized, we've been demonized, we've been dehumanized, we've been fetishized, and we've been treated as if, because of the fact we have red hair, we don't deserve the same space as other people do. Yes, really. Gingers are soulless, kick a ginger day. The first time I've heard, that's why I'm saying I want to talk about this, because it's really interesting, because a lot of people, I always say things are interesting, but it's a situation because there's a lot of people, if you aren't a ginger, you probably have never heard of situations like this. That's a thing. It is a very widespread thing. Did you say kick a ginger date? Yeah. There are people in the comments of these videos too that said they legitimately got kicked in school for being a ginger. 400 plus years ago, gingers were persecuted and considered non-white and subhuman. Yeah. Sperm banks. No longer take. There's a valid point to this, and then there isn't. Sperm banks no longer typically take ginger DNA because no one wants it. Like, at all. There's a lot of sperm banks. You shrug a lot, and I don't understand what it's supposed to mean in the context. I'm not saying you're like wrong for doing anything. I'm not sure how to take it. I'm not sure how to take it because, like, whenever I say things like, gingers are really persecuted, and someone goes, shrug, it just kind of means, like, okay, what do you want me to do about it? I don't know. It just seems... It's a preference. Okay, so a little invalidating. It's not a preference. It's done out of because gingers are seen as not being conventionally attractive. Let's show the gender sperm. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, if it's like, oh well, it's just a preference. It's really not. Like, the only valid reason that people should really legitimately care about ginger DNA is because there is an issue that if there's one genetic mutation, there's a possibility of others. However, that's not why a lot of people choose not to go with ginger DNA. And I think out of context, it sounds silly, and it's like, why are you upset about that? And it's because they actually legitimately expect gingers to go extinct relatively soon. Like, gingers are already incredibly rare, but they expect that due to the sperm bank situation and some other stuff, it's leaning into the territory that people want gingers to go extinct. It is out of a desire for ginger DNA to no longer be in the gene pool. And that's where things get a little bit weird. But it's rough. Don't go see to monsieur. But it's something that's like is an issue. The gingers are one of the first people that were like persecuted by the colonists. There's Kick of the Ginger Day. There's gingers are soulless. Like, we get demonized, dehumanized, sexualized. It's really like, imagine just like living your fucking life and one of the, like, some dude comes up to you and, you know what? Here's a good example. I want to really hammer it home for a lot of you guys. Imagine watching a grown-ass man go up to a 12-year-old and ask them if the carpets match the drapes. Imagine just dudes in general saying that. There's... Yo, what the fuck? Yeah. To a 12-year-old, to an 18-year-old, to a 30-year-old, to... Yeah, that one's... I got asked that a lot, and I never put it together until I got older. I was really out of the loop on that one, and I didn't understand. It was mostly my fellow students that said it to me, but at the same time, it's still... That doesn't make it okay. Just another piece of... Guys... I'm going to say this really bluntly. This isn't about just one person being a dick offhandedly. It's about years and years of systematic mistreatment because of somebody's hair color. And it's really fucked up. It's not okay. And like, it's not just another piece of shit human. It's not just someone with no manners. It's not just preference. It's not just any of that. It's the systematic and repeat mistreatment towards somebody with a different hair color than you, or a different skin color than you, or just any number of things. It's like, I think because the fact that it's like a hair color, people associate it on a much lighter scale. But, and especially because like you don't see it super often. Like, unless you either grew up being like really close to somebody. Even then, like, I don't think a lot of my friends ever heard like half the shit that happened to me. Cause like, I remember, I think I've told this story before of like, it was when I had my hair dyed like a darker, more vibrant version of ginger hair. And I was sitting in front of the like infant's clothing table at work. And I was like sitting down and folding some of like the little infant shirts and stuff like that. And some like old lady just comes up to me and starts molesting my hair. I was so taken aback. I was so taken aback, and I just didn't really know how to respond, because like I knew that people just coming up to your like, yeah, that would be, yeah, that's I knew at the time that people just coming up to touch your hair was inappropriate and really bad. But one, I was on the clock. Two, it was an older lady. And three, I didn't have any balls. So I was just like, I also went through the whole thing. Like, this is like the weird parallel out of nowhere. Yeah. This is like the weird parallel of things. I was told my entire life never to fucking touch my hair. Like, don't dye it, don't like bleach it, don't alter it. And it's just like, now that I'm older, it's like, bro, it's just hair. It'll fucking grow back. People had like a really, and don't get me wrong, there is like some permanent, like lasting effects that you can do to your hair if you like really consistently like dye or bleach it or something. Like you might have some texture changes because of like the chemicals, but like it's not gonna grow back a completely different head of hair, if that makes any sense. Like, dude, it's just, if I want to dye my hair pink, I'm gonna fucking dye my hair pink. The only reason I regret like messing with my hair in the past is just like, once I decided that like I was done / like couldn't afford to keep up with it anymore, it took forever to grow out. So I just had like a band, like from like, I was like bleach blonde, not like completely bleach blonde, but like a medium tone. I was like a medium blonde, and like waiting for that shit to grow out so that I just had my ginger hair left was like a pain in the ass, dude. But I think that's like, this is what I'm going to stand my ground on. And I don't think anybody's going to get upset with me for saying this, but like, please be careful when you say things like, oh, that's just a preference, or like, oh, it's just like XYZ. It's just like, it's kind of a lot to go through and to deal with, to be treated like certain ways. Like one of my best friends growing up was like probably like the most ginger I've ever seen anybody in my entire life. She had like the brightest red hair. She had like freckles all over her body, and like the amount of like just bullying she went through because of it was fucking crazy, dude. She had freckles